Hello, do you remember me? I'm kind of the fella who hasn't uploaded in about 2 months. Sorry, but fuck that. Forget about that. This is now, right? We're in the last day of 2025, so I'm gonna go through my top 10 figures of this year. But there's one rule. There's only one rule. I have to have obtained or bought the figure in this year. So we're gonna start off with some honorable mentions first. Okay, so the first honorable mention I have is going to be the Marvel Legends Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3 figure. It is very fucking blurry. Spider-Man 3 Tobey Maguire. He is on the honorable mentions list because he barely didn't make it to the top 10. I love this suit, so getting this when I couldn't get the older Toy Biz figures, I really wanted it when it came out, and I got it fairly quick. The Bully Maguire head sculpt as well. It's actually really fun because I put it on another figure. So basically I have a Bully Maguire figure with this. Yeah, he is the first honorable mention of this list. Why is it so blurry back here? So the second figure making the honorable mentions list is going to be the McFarlane Toys. I think this is the only McFarlane figure on this list as well, by the way. Is this figure right here. The Batman Dark Knight Rises with the Bat bike. So yeah, I had to pick this one up. But yeah, he barely again scrapes the top 10 list of the figures of this year that I bought. But yeah, it's not a bad figure. It has good articulation on him. It's just not in the top 10 list though. So yeah, he's another one. The next figure on the honorable mentions list, again, just barely scraping out of the top 10. He probably was in my top 10 for a good portion of it when I did first get him. It is the Studio Series Bumblebee movie Bumblebee reissue. This design is fucking sick for Bumblebee. I think this is probably up there one of the best Studio Series Bumblebees we've gotten. Maybe even the best one. But yeah, again, he just barely scrapes out the top 10. I do really like this figure. He has good posability, the good accessories as well, good paint. And yeah, just barely scrapes out the top 10 as well. Another figure on the honorable mentions list, which I was quite surprised by when I first reviewed him, is Studio Series Overload. This figure really impressed me. I was expecting just like a big blocky fucking figure that couldn't pose or nothing. He actually can get a decent few poses and he has good posability, and he's like really detailed. And also he starts off with Devastator because he's a reissue. This is my first one for Devastator, which I don't even know if I'll ever complete. But if I ever complete him, this one's the starting off. And I was actually really impressed with this figure as well. That is another honorable mention. And we have one more honorable mention. And the final figure in the honorable mentions list, there's only 5. So it is the DC X Sonic Silver. Good, like super articulated figure. I think that's what they're called. But yeah, this figure again, I wasn't too keen on them when they were revealed, but this one caught my eye a bit, and he actually did impress a bit. He's a bit top heavy, but that's really all the Jakks Pacific figures. Really good articulation and posability. Good price as well, by the way. I think he was like €15, I think. And I hope they make a modern version with this type of posability, because I will cop silver straight away. But yeah, he barely misses out on the top 10 as well. So now we're into the top 10 list of figures of 2025 from TF Reviews. Myself, that was very fucking weird. Making its way into 10th spot is going to be the No Way Home Marvel Legends Lizard figure. I've always wanted a Lizard figure, like a proper one. I remember I had the ones where if you squeeze the legs, the arms would move. Funny story, he ended up, I thrown him down the stairs and he might have exploded into a million pieces, and then he was never seen again. So yeah, to get this figure and to finally have a Lizard figure back in the collection, especially the movie version. I do really like the movie version's design altogether, all like the weird bumps and stuff. To make this figure, it's basically just a reissue with a few updates. I did like it. It did disappoint me a tiny bit, but he's made his way into the top 10 barely. Making its way into the number 9th spot is another Marvel Legends figure. Again, it's from No Way Home as well. but this time it's the Electro figure. I really dig this figure. This is probably one of my favorite Electro designs. He did really impress me when I first opened him. He is a lot of a better figure than Lizard, I think. And it's my first Electro figure, really. I've always struggled to find an Electro figure. He was fairly simple to find. But yeah, I really like the lightning bolt effects he comes with. You can kind of like fuck around with them and just put them in weird poses in his hands, wherever, in his feet. I kind of have him like holding like this, so he's kind of like that in my case. But yeah, he is probably up there, one of my favorite Marvel Legends. And this year he is my favorite Marvel Legend because I don't think there is a Marvel Legends left in the list. So yeah, that is Electro in number 9. Making its way into number 8 spot is the first Jada Toys figure in this list, and I have been collecting a couple of the Street Fighter Jada Toys figures, but this one is definitely one of my favorites. It is the Street Fighter Deluxe Sagat. I always fucking struggle with his name to like how to pronounce it and stuff, so Sagat is just his name for me. But yeah, this figure is tall, man. He's very big. The only problem I have with mine is his toe is like very loose, so whenever he's like kind of like that, he does tend to topple over a bit, but it hasn't stopped him from falling over, I think, more than once, because he did fall once and the place they're at is very high in my room. I'm surprised he didn't break. He is the number 8 spot figure. Making its way into the number 7 spot is the Jakks Pacific Jet the Hawk figure. Now, I want to say something. This figure is definitely not better than half of all the figures on this list, but it's the kind of story behind this figure that has made me want to put him up higher than the likes of the Jada Toys Sagat and the Marvel Legends and all. I used to have Jet as a Jazzwares figure, and his story is just so weird because it started off with a full figure, lost this hand, then he lost this hand, and he was just full body Jet. He had the board. Then I decided one day to unconnect his head, and then I lost his body. So it was just left with his head, his goggles, and his board. And then I lost his head, but I still managed to keep the goggles and the board. I still have them to this day. They're in my little Sonic case with the Lego stuff. I'm settled with this figure. I really like this figure. Yeah, it's not better than any of the figures, but the premise behind this is the reason he's up here. So he is the number 7 spot. Making its way into the number 6 spot is, again, another Jakks Pacific figure with a kind of story behind it. Is the Sonic the Werehog figure. Again, I've always wanted a Werehog figure ever since the Jazzwares one came out. I was never able to get it. To get this figure and have the absolute monstrosity of detail and really cool design, his big long arms, like genuinely I don't think I could have asked for a better Werehog figure than this one. And also he did get me 11k views on a short, so I kind of handed to him a bit. That he has made his way into the 6th spot, and he's a really cool figure. I really do like him. Making its way into the 5th slot is going to be the Studio Series Knight Optimus Prime from Age of Extinction. Don't ask for the pose, I just have him in here as in the case so you can see his sword and stuff. This genuinely might be the best Studio Series we have, or up there, but one of the best. When I got this figure, I thought it was just going to be some big blocky prick. But yeah, he might be a blocky prick, but he makes up for it in the best ways with his accessories and his... I don't know about detail, but the posing is very good on this figure as well. The articulation is great. The paint is the only thing I struggle to like, which is like the more of the grey areas. I don't really like the grey areas too much. This is why it's a bit low on my list compared to the other figures. So yeah, that's the Knight Optimus Prime. He has made his way into the 5th slot. Making its way into the 4th slot is going to be, yet again, another Jakks Pacific figure. But this one's reasonable. I think this one's very reasonable. This is the superposable Super Shadow from the Sonic 3 movie. This was my most anticipated figure when it came to this line of figures. Him and the regular Shadow. The one thing that really annoyed me was that my copy had a loose waist. I had to stick like something, I think that's tissue up there, so you would actually have a tighter waist. But honestly, the detailing and the posing on this figure is unreal for the price. He's so cheap. If you haven't bought him already, buy him immediately if you collect figures, because you won't be disappointed with this figure, especially for the price. I don't think there's any argument. I think he is a great figure. Making its way into the top 3, I think the top 3 were like very hard for me to like make, but I ended up going with in the third slot, the Jada Toys Blanca figure. He is genuinely probably the most like wowed I've been with a figure. Like, he is so poseable. He is unreal looking. I think his face sculpts are fucking insane. Like, this is such a weird design for a figure, like for a character even, and I love it. I don't know why. He's my favorite Street Fighter like fighter character, and I haven't really even played the fucking game. He's always just been like that one character that's just stood out to me, and this figure has made me stood out even more to him. Like, he is an incredible figure. Again, if you find this, pick him up. He is such a good figure. I think this is the best Jada Toys figure. And you get these little lightning ball things that you can like put around them, and it looks sick on display. So he has made it into the top 3 behind 2 figures, and yeah, it was very unlucky for him not to get into like even the top 2. He's very unlucky. Making its way into the top 2, I can't lie, this was a very hard decision for me. I kind of get it. I don't know if it's like right. So the number 2 spot has gone to Studio Series The Fallen. Well, and I know what you're thinking. Like, I already own this figure. Let me put the tripod up with it. I already own this figure. I have 2 of these because I recently got the 3-pack with the Battle Damage Megatron, which I fucking love that figure to bits. The look on him is great. But I haven't transformed them, so I didn't put them in the list because I didn't want to put them in the list without them transformed, and then it's just kind of like I'm throwing them in there because it's just a whole thing. I put the Fallen in because I genuinely think, even though I have 2 of these figures, I still think he is the probably top 3 Studio Series ever. He's my favorite Transformers character. I feel like he's literally my profile picture on TikTok since the start, and I've never changed once. There's just something about the Fallen and this figure specifically. Even the OG Voyager class, he's just such a cool figure. Like, the removable mask, the little staff thing, even like the things that I don't have on him right now, the little connector things to his arms, I fucking hate them. But the rest of the figure just builds up, it just makes up for it. I just love the Fallen. And I kind of don't know if it's kind of cheating because I did get him, I already had him. But he is in the top 2 anyway because this figure is generally just such a great figure. That figure is just wow. And now for the winner of my 2025 figures of 2025. I've put the Fallen in the back because he's the runner-up, so he's just going to be sitting back there. The best figure I have bought this year, in my opinion, that I absolutely adore, this is one of my grail figures by the way, is the movie masterpiece Bone Crusher from Transformers 1. This figure is my favorite. He might even be my favorite figure I have in my entire collection. He is just a fucking unit. He is so big. Like, he might not be big tall wise because he's like here's the Fallen, the height thing. He kind of has the same height range to head, but he's so chunky. Like, he is extremely chunky. The die-cast metal in this figure, the detail, the posability, even the fucking truck mode with the little fork thing at the top, everything was perfect. This figure is perfect. This is the best representation of Bone Crusher from the Bayverse figures ever. Like, full stop. He stands out in the collection compared to any other figure. And this figure is just, wow, he is fucking insane. And yeah, that does it for my figures of 2025. I will try and keep consistent with uploads as of now, because we're going into the new year. I'll have to get back on routine with the videos and stuff. I haven't uploaded in 2 months. That's fucking... I'm so pissed off I did that. But yeah, that is the list of 2025 best figures and honorable mentions as well. The Force figure that I've bought that's coming next year, it's coming in January. The review on that is gonna be fucking crazy because this figure, again, I've been eyeing it up for a while, but I've never pulled the trigger to buy it, and now I've pulled the trigger to buy it. So he's coming early January, so be ready for it because the review is definitely coming out for that guy. So yeah, this video is done, and hopefully I will be back to you within 3 days, hopefully.